Welcome to the EV Hotwire Newsroom, brought to you by HopCharge, powering India's EV journey with on-demand doorstep charging. I'm your host, Sarah. It's the third week of August 2026, and I hope you all had a wonderful Independence Day with your families. This has been a slightly lighter news week, but a globally significant one, with policy signals from London to Sacramento, and one very important launch from Mahindra right here at home. Here are your top headlines. Genesis has unveiled its first flagship electric SUV, the GV90, with India on its 2027 launch map. Mahindra has officially launched the BE6 Sportec and Formula E edition on Independence Day. Indian banks are quietly underwriting the EV transition, with SBI Green Deposits funding EV loans. Wood Mackenzie has warned that global energy insecurity could trigger a fresh EV surge worldwide. The UK government has opened a formal consultation on weakening its zero-emission vehicle mandate. California has committed $95 million for EV charging infrastructure, a sharp contrast to the UK's direction. And a new study on India's electric freight drivers reveals a 25% income boost, but a 41% loss for owner drivers. Let's get into the details. Our top story: a preview of what India's luxury EV segment will look like in 2027. Genesis, Hyundai Motor Group's luxury arm, has unveiled its first full-size flagship electric SUV, the GV90. The global debut took place at the Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco. The specs are flagship grade. A 123.5 kilowatt-hour battery, roughly 500 kilometers of range, a combined motor output of 490 kilowatts, and a first-of-its-kind roof airbag, a genuinely new safety feature in the electric SUV segment. All of it running on Hyundai's new Plios Connect infotainment platform. Two versions were unveiled: the standard GV90 and an ultra-luxury coach door variant called the GV90 Neolun. And here's why this matters for India. Genesis is confirmed for an India launch by 2027 with local assembly. The GV90 is the flagship EV that will eventually anchor that lineup, which means Indian luxury buyers are getting a very clear preview of what to expect within the next 18 months. Story number 2. Mahindra delivered on its Independence Day promise. On August 15th, Mahindra officially launched the BE6 Sportec at 19.45 lakh rupees onwards. Prices go up to 26.95 lakh rupees across 8 variants. The headline change: a new triple-screen dashboard, adding a 12.3-inch passenger display to the existing dual-screen setup, plus a revised cabin theme with a more premium finish and a matte black exterior. Launched alongside it, the updated BE6 Formula E edition, featuring tricolor accents and Formula E badging, a fitting nod to Independence Day itself. The Sportec brings the BE6 in line with Mahindra's larger electric SUVs on interior tech and gives buyers a clear reason to upgrade within the BE6 family. A clean, focused launch, right on schedule. Story 3. And this one is happening quietly, but at real scale. India's EV transition isn't just being driven by OEMs and policy. Indian banks are quietly underwriting the shift. State Bank of India's green deposits are being utilized for EV loan financing. ESG-linked green lending frameworks are now standard across major Indian banks. And the broader financial infrastructure for India's EV transition is now in place, from consumer auto loans to fleet operator credit lines to commercial vehicle financing. For an industry that's often talked about in terms of vehicles and charging, this is the third leg of the stool: capital. And it's now flowing at scale, which means buyers in Tier 2 and Tier 3 India can access EV financing on terms that look increasingly like their ICE counterparts. Story 4. A global analyst view that echoes what Indian EV leaders have been saying for months. Wood Mackenzie has published new analysis warning that continued global energy insecurity could accelerate EV adoption worldwide. This directly mirrors what Tata Motors leadership has been saying about India specifically since June, that oil price volatility from the West Asia conflict has shifted India's EV market from quote, push to pull mode. The framing is simple. When fuel supply feels stable, EV adoption is a slow policy push. When fuel supply becomes uncertain, EV adoption becomes a consumer pull, driven by cost, not conscience. And with global energy markets showing continued volatility, that pull is now global. Story 5. A UK policy development India needs to watch. The UK government has opened a formal consultation reviewing its zero-emission vehicle mandate earlier than originally planned. Why does this matter for India? Because Tata Motors, Mahindra, and Maruti are counting on UK demand to absorb EV export volumes under the tariff-free quota system in the recently enacted India-UK Free Trade Agreement. If the UK softens its ZEV targets, domestic UK EV demand could slow, and that directly affects how much of India's FTA quota, which grows to 88,000 units by year 15, actually gets utilized. For India's EV exporters, this is now a headline risk worth monitoring closely. Story 6. A contrasting policy signal from the other side of the world. Even as the UK pulls back, California has committed $95 million toward EV charging infrastructure expansion. Two of the world's most influential EV policy jurisdictions moving in opposite directions in the same week. It highlights just how differently major markets are approaching EV policy right now. For India, which sits somewhere in between, with aggressive Delhi-style state policies and cautious central rollouts, the global divergence offers useful lessons on what works and what stalls when governments try to steer an EV transition. Our final story this week, and it's a nuanced one worth sitting with. A Smart Freight Center and Shell Foundation study of over 1,500 Indian freight drivers has found that switching to electric vehicles lifts driver income by around 25% on average. But, and this is the important part, owner-cum-drivers see their net income fall by 41% under current financing models. The difference comes down to who owns the vehicle. Salaried drivers of company-owned EV fleets benefit from higher payouts thanks to lower running costs. Owner drivers who take on EV loans themselves struggle with monthly EMIs that outweigh the fuel savings. The takeaway is honest. The EV transition can absolutely improve driver livelihoods, but the financing model decides who actually benefits. Without adjustments to EV loan terms for owner drivers, the very people the transition is meant to help could end up worse off. So, to wrap this week's brief, Genesis has previewed the flagship electric SUV that will land in India by 2027. Mahindra launched the BE6 Sportec on Independence Day. Indian banks are now the quiet engine behind EV financing. Wood Mackenzie has flagged global energy insecurity as the next EV accelerant. The UK is pulling back on EV targets. California is doubling down. And India's electric freight story is more complex than the headlines suggest. Stay safe out there this monsoon, and I'll see you next Friday. I'm Sarah. That's your EV Hotwire for the week. Until then, keep it charged.